Took my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Dance hall girls were the evening treat. Empty cartridges and blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man she couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Waiting for me there.
2, 1. Hey, YouTubers and friends, welcome to another Tuesday night Hangout Live. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight, I have my good friend Rose Nose Treasure as my guest co-host, and we're very privileged tonight not to only just have Adam Brown and Jeremy with Wrecked in Recovery. We have Jeremy's better half, Candace, Cat Toy Lady, also joining us, and I'm sure she's quite a big part of exploring with Nug and Wrecked and Recovered. So with no more further to do, if that's the way it goes, we'll be right back to get this party started.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your host, Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Too soon. Ooh.
Oh man. Oh,
Better
what?
uncheck my mute on my mic. Welcome back, Rose, and welcome Jeremy, Adam, and Candace. Good to see you again. Hello, everybody in the live chat. David V.I., Tin Man, how you doing? Oh, one of the Ellsworth's daughters are saying hi, so no, don't delete that.
Did I do that wrong?
I would allow that because that's
Oh,
one of Carl Ellsworth Carl's daughters. They have
Yeah, they're saying
autism.
hello.
They're
I'm
saying
about-
hello. They're great people. They came to one of our flash bashes and excellent girls. But
Whoops. I didn't
it's okay. Jeremy didn't mean it, girls.
mean it.
G'day,
My
mate. How you doing, Terry Marshall? All our Aussie friends. David Villa. Deb. Hello. Hey, Paul. Good to see you. Yeah, weather's gonna change here too up in Northwest Ohio. Mr. Lodak, good to see you. Ellie, good to see Yukon Ellie in the room and saving the cabin. Hey, Candace
Hey.
is in there as saving the cabin. You know, that didn't click with me until just now. When I said hello back to you, it didn't click then until right now, Candace.
Yeah, we have too many.
No, I don't. We don't
Ooh, Ert Radio's on time, Ed.
Huh?
Ert Radio is
Ronald?
on time. I gotta point it out. I'm just saying he's here on time.
Okay, good job, Ronald. Good job. Good job. And Jeff, Bill, good to see you too. Janice Weber, good to see you. Welcome to Tuesday Night Hangout Live. If this is your first time here, we're going 7 years coming up in June of this live broadcast, and we've had a good time through that 7 years. So join the FlashFam, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and don't forget to hit that like. Let the algorithm know we're here. Right, sis?
Right.
Lindsay is sending hearts to everyone. Thank you, girl. Or Lacey. Sorry. Sorry, Ellsworth.
Sending hearts back.
Neat. So what is the plan tonight? What you got going on?
Why, you know why I'm on Tuesday nights, Ronald. It's all your fault. Say what?
I'll say what
what's the plan? What's the plan? What's going on?
What's the
We got some questions. We got some questions here.
Got you captive here. I'm putting them live screen rows or full screen, so
I got up down here, so every time I look down here, that's what I'm doing. So don't
We're
worry.
gonna have to get, yeah, get the chat up too. Let's see, here we go. 'Cause I'm gonna start putting questions that we may not ask right away in the private chat so we don't forget them.
Deb wants to know, Deb Drennan, help me, Rose.
Oh gosh, I'm not very good either. Let's just say Deb, who was here last week and asked a lot of really great questions too. I just want to point out.
Right on. Let me make it so they can see the questions also. How's the boat coming along, Jeremy?
Well, we actually, I tell you what, it's coming along good.
Yeah.
We got, thanks to a local boat mechanic here in town, you know, he got us set up with a new motor on it, and a refurbished motor, and
it's a good one though.
Yeah, so it runs good, steering's good, and then we recently got a lot of gifts from a couple viewers, and so we're currently in the process, just started today, of like completely covering this thing with spotlight, changing all the lights that are in it to LEDs because it's very dated. Yeah. So essentially we're swapping with new up to date lighting.
I don't think it's changed since the 70s.
No, they parked this, and it was like 20 years this thing just sat idle. So yeah, it's definitely out of date. But I mean, we got a new switchboard. You know, we got all the sonar in it. It's definitely coming along. The biggest problem we have now is getting back in the boat after diving. So we're trying to figure that out.
Would that be rectified with, like, forgive me, like a ladder, or do you guys need something because your equipment's so heavy, or?
Well, yeah, we need some kind of custom made ladder. We're still trying to figure it out.
What are you using right now as a ladder?
Well, the ladder we're using now is actually the ladder that came with this RV that we're living in. There's a loft, and that's where one of the kids sleep. And it used to just have a ladder that goes up. And we recently replaced it with this little staircase so the kids could get up a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So that ladder, so it kind of works, but the angle is still off. So I need him to grab me and pull the tank, or else I can't get over the hump.
It's a lot of weight that we're carrying.
Yeah.
Is it a matter of like getting out of the water and being light and then like lifting up the first few steps, and you're not being able to lift that equipment out of the water?
Yeah, because like the angle of the ladder is still like in it's not out enough. And so
So you need a brace to tilt it out.
something.
Make it an A shape against the boat.
I don't know. And and it's just a ladder. If you're wearing fins, you can't climb up it. We're gonna have to.
Well, Bill Marsh brought up something pretty good. Could put like a swim platform mounted to the back of the boat, to the stern of the boat.
It's all gonna have
or
to be
the
custom.
bow, stern, bow.
Like a ladder would be simple, but if we was gonna get a platform or something, we definitely have to get a custom fabrication. Get somebody that knows what they're doing with aluminum welding and stuff.
Is it an aluminum hull boat? Is it all aluminum? I think I've seen pictures of it.
It's pretty nice. It already has like a ladder mount where there was a dive ladder, like the kind we need. It's pretty much just like a straight aluminum pipe with a bunch of T-bars. So I'm already in talks with. I already put a post out on Facebook like a week ago, and a bunch of welders are like trying to wanting to help out. So that's really cool.
If we could, the other boat we have, it's got that scuba diving seat on the front of it, and that thing was awesome. If we could figure out some way to have one of those made that you could flop over the side, that'd be pretty cool.
Now, Tin Man Magnet Fishing has a pretty cool idea too, and some of them could get some good speeds if needed. Is a pontoon boat, and you could have hand crank winches and stuff on it too, or even a motorized winch.
Well, putting a winch, you don't talk about like
we are thinking about putting a winch on our boat.
What you call me? No, just kidding. Sorry, guys.
If we found like something light that wouldn't tip the boat, like maybe a small motorcycle or some treasure, and we can lift it up, or our gear, I guess, our BCs.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm trying to get out of the water. Like I get 2 steps up, and then that last step I can't do it, and like he has to grab me and like drag me over the boat. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's because you haven't dove off the boat yet.
It's a temporary problem.
It's temporary. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, how are you going to get his tall butt over?
I don't know. Because
I'm just never diving again.
Yeah, never. No, that's it. You're the sonar guy.
Guys, I'm gonna apologize for the weird sounds in the background. I have a puppy.
That's okay. They have a couple too.
Well, Janice asks when we're going to pull another car out. We're going to be pulling cars out forever. We have a honey hole that we come across has 10 cars in it at least, and other stuff we don't even know about. So we're going to drag all of this out, and we're supposed to be teaming up. Was that a secret? I just tell you. I don't think it's a secret.
I mean, it's kind of a secret. Big YouTuber.
Well, we're supposed to be teaming up with another YouTuber who is big, and he wants to help out. And so we're gonna join forces, and he's gonna help us out in a couple of videos. We was up in Tennessee today, and we found a couple of vehicles, and they could be linked to somebody who passed away in the river, and they got their body out of the water, but the vehicle's still there. And so we're gonna try the vehicle and whatever personal belongings might be left in the car. It's been down there for 4 years, but I think there could be personal belongings in there the family might want back. I don't know, but I think it'd be cool to get that car out of the water.
That's cool. Now, Deb has another question. What is on your agenda for 2024? Are you teaming up with other divers?
I mean, we don't have plans set in stone for anything really. But like if so, man, I mean, we don't have plans.
I mean, not necessarily divers. We worked up with I worked with Jason, and he just solved the case in North Carolina.
Yeah, you hear about the Camaro that was found with the 3 missing people in North Carolina?
No.
And, that's what happened. Was it 50 years?
It was like I don't know if it was quite 50, but it was a big deal.
3 guys left the bar and vanished, And just recent, like this was a long time ago, 40, 50 years. And just recently they were found. And a guy that Jason,
I don't know how to say his last name, Saruda or something like that.
He's just a guy. He was not a YouTuber or nothing. Yeah. And he made an RC boat for sonar, and he found him. And yeah, you just recently teamed up with him.
Yeah,
down in Savannah.
We're working on a case in down near Savannah. This dog.
The dog has the insole of one of the kids' shoes.
I feel your pain. Yeah, I feel it. I understand.
Happens.
Jeez.
Dog.
But yeah, we're working on a case with him, and but like we said, we don't really have like any immediate plans. We do have some cool collabs coming up that I'm excited about, and we have things we want to do, but we're kind of just going with the flow. Honestly, right now we're kind of overwhelmed because we have so many cars that we found. We have so many that we want to pull out, and there's just so many cases to work on too.
Right.
Yeah, we got
Overwhelming.
Yeah, we got a couple big, like the car I just told you guys about with the person who passed away, and then another vehicle that was part of a cold case that we was involved in solving, and that vehicle's still in the water, but they have since, closed the case and they got the remains out of the vehicle, but the car's still there, so we want to get that out too. And then, we got the new wrecker, and we're putting some upgrades on it, and I think it's gonna be a good. Once it starts warming up, I think spring's gonna be a start of a good year.
Yeah, it was a little rough starting out this year. We had a lot. We had our old wrecker. Well,
jeez,
this is the Wrecker Recovered interview. Our old wrecker, if people don't know, worked pretty good. I mean, we pulled 22 cars out with it.
We got 22 out before it finally decided it's done,
and it died. The head gasket blew. I mean, it was technically still driving, but not working very well.
We could have used it more, but we got lucky, and we did a fundraiser, got lots of donations, and then we sold the wrecker to a guy that has the funds to fix it. So we gave, he got a great deal. Everybody won. We ended up getting a new wrecker, and we went all the way to Texas to get this wrecker. Drove it all the way back.
I saw you got a new wrecker, so
we got to use it in Texarkana. The cops let us pull a vehicle out of a pond. So that was pretty fun, because they'll take over and call their own tow truck, but this time they let us use
it.
Yeah, like the cops watching you while you're using the wrecker for the first time.
Oh yeah. Sure enough, one of the winches wasn't working right. We didn't know that, but we ended up getting the car out anyways. But it could have been smoother, but it worked.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we had two amazing channels. We have Adam Brown Adventures and Exploring with Nug. Sorry. Why did you guys decide to create another channel together? Was it just because I'm asking because Angela and I loved working together as Treasure Vixens, and it seems like working together with more than one person is a lot of fun. But what was your guys' drive to create the channel?
I think the main thing is we just got tired of seeing cars left in the water and not being able to do anything about it. And it's kind of a big problem. A lot of the teams, you find cars all the time. 90% of the time, they're just empty or stolen. And sometimes you're able to work with local tow companies, but most of the time, you can't do that, and they end up getting left. Or they say they'll get to them. You have to report them to the police, and they don't ever get to them, or it takes a long time. So we wanted to start doing it ourselves, and we had a lot of haters. I'll say people saying we couldn't do it. People say we couldn't we couldn't go out and do it ourselves, and I think we proved them all wrong at this point.
Yeah, we haven't gotten in trouble yet. Haven't gotten yelled at.
Well,
that's a different story.
One time, it was the
99% of the time, police think it's cool, and they have no problem with us doing it. And we did have one little hiccup where we may have pulled a car out that we didn't realize was a training car for law enforcement, but
that they hadn't used in 10 years.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know. My argument was it wasn't marked. It was rotting. There was tires. I was like, it looked like an abandoned car. I didn't know they put it there on purpose.
No, left the oil spill behind.
Pulled the car out, and sure enough, a couple people were a little unhappy about it, but whatever.
Oops.
We just happened to have state patrol sit on our driveway for a day.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, if you find a car, for any other divers that may be watching, and all the doors are already open, and it may be a dive car. If it looks pretty,
But usually dive cars are stripped completely. They don't have, like, you can tell they're dive
right,
cars.
yeah.
Yeah,
Usually they're cars abandoned or dumped, and the police just decide to use it as a training vehicle. So like it was it was like there's a Suburban in Knoxville that we found, and like they say, oh, we train on that all the time, but it was dumped there by somebody who stole it or something.
we have another question by Deb. What has been your most challenging recovery?
Impala.
Was it the Impala?
Oh yeah, we broke cables.
It may have been that. What year was that one?
The Impala was, I don't know, it was older. 70s, I think. Yeah, it was old station wagon, but it weighed 10 ton filled with mud, and we somehow managed to the shore. But I mean, once we got it out of the water just a little bit, it turned into a cement truck, and we snapped 2 cables. The tow company that came and helped us, like, they barely was able to get it out of the water. They told us it was the heaviest car they've ever pulled.
Wow.
That's their business, you know. So we're like, man, but fun, but definitely.
I think it might be. That's one of our most popular videos too. It went pretty. Got a lot of views out of nowhere, and
yeah, people
love to see a catastrophe.
Struggle is real. Wait, just like sometimes they go. Most of the time we do struggle. I think the new wrecker is going to help us not struggle as much because it's a little bit bigger. There's more weight.
Yeah, it's bigger. We got longer cables. Yeah, you know, everything works on it, so we'll be a lot easier. You know.
Yeah, we haven't since we had to go get it and our wrecker broke. I guess the past kind of been. We haven't posted much, but that's because we're kind of prepping the new truck and getting that together. So we got a lot more to come. We actually have. I think the one in Texarkana we're going to try to put out as a wrecked and recovered episode because that's technically the first car we pulled with our new wrecker, so I think it counts.
I mean, it was learning. Like everything.
I mean, we usually try to film. I guess to also add on to your question earlier about why we work, to make this new channel. Our other channels are a lot more serious. We're focused on, solely focused on like missing people for the most part, and this one is. We're pretty goofy people naturally, and it's kind of, I think it seeps out some in our main channels, but this new Wrecked and Recovered allows us to be as goofy as possible, I think. And I put a lot more time. It takes at least 3 days of editing. It kind of kills me every time. Try to do it more like a TV show and have more fun. And I've been pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely
it's a lot of work, but
definitely a goofball, and it's hard for me. I don't know how hard it is for you, but to keep that in check for when we're out searching for missing people. Like, obviously you want to be a little more serious about it. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to have another channel where you could just let loose and be as goofy as you want. So we definitely have as much fun as we can pulling these cars out. It's hard because at the end of the day I get tired and grumpy.
Are you still doing your live show on Wrecked and Recovered?
Do what now?
I thought you and Adam were doing a live show on Wrecked and Recovered.
Well, I think we started that, and the plan was to do a lot more lives. But it turns out it's pretty difficult to keep up with some of the plans.
Right. Ain't that the truth?
Hard enough just to keep up editing our own main channel videos and then put those videos out. It's literally doubling the workload, but
right. So you do you edit everything for Wrecked and Recovered, Adam?
I'd say for the most part, we were doing clean out videos, and Jeremy was doing the clean out videos. So we pull the car out, and then we wash it out with our, I guess, pressure washer hose we got. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy was editing those. So he edits those when we do them. We haven't done them recently. but
I'll
I
probably
usually
start doing it again. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we'll do it a little different, like because we'll get the car out, and then that's kind of the video. But it is kind of curious, like what could be inside. So we're always talking about different ways. Like maybe we could tip the car to 45 and hose everything out, and like it falls into like some kind of giant sluice box, so to speak,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like wash all the mud away and catch all the coins and whatever else could be inside.
You need to have wrecked and recovered bingo cards. So when you pull something out, you can be like, "Who has pennies?" And then they mark it off the list.
I think
You know, most of the time we don't find much, but there's always that one car. I think it was a truck we found full of stuff. It's kind of like my truck. If my truck went in the water, we pulled out my truck. It just crap pulling out of this.
yeah, no, I think we really want maybe kind of I don't know that whole tipping idea. Like we have like a mesh, some kind of big box just to catch everything, let the mud wash away.
Yeah.
Like just a huge like just a
And honestly, the reason we haven't done them recently is because by the time we got the car out, it's like pitch black and late at night. And
it takes a while.
we have no lights.
Right.
So
Got a car in the middle of the night.
That sounds like another good investment right there. Some good lights.
we just added.
Oh yeah, we got the huge lights on the record now. So
Okay.
the sun goes.
Well, you did say you put a bunch of new lights on your boat too, right? Also to your record.
We got like 2 or 3 big lights to put on the record,
Yeah.
and then the boat's going to be covered with lights.
Okay.
So like we can keep searching at night if we really want to.
Ohio Relic Hunter has a question for you. Do they take cars do you take cars to the scrapyard to help fund the channel, the ones that aren't evidence?
No.
Most of the time they are stolen though, so
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about in a perfect world, but taking it and scrapping it. But the reality is, you can't legally do it without a title to the vehicle.
Right.
Tow companies, but I think it takes them like they have to sit on the car for like I don't know 9 months or some time period, and then they can legally scrap it themselves. So
Okay.
I can't remember who it was, but there was a YouTuber or a TikToker recently who salvaged a boat and took that boat back to his property, and then Fish and Wildlife showed up and was like, "You can't take that boat." You guys know what I'm talking about?
yeah, the problem with
That
him,
was Jigga with Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
the problem with that one is I guess he just didn't ever report it to the DNR or the I guess we call it DNR here, the wildlife people.
Yeah, the Rangers.
And you
and
can't
stuff.
just like that'd be like we find a car and we just take it home, and it's like it's ours.
Mhm.
But
So
I mean, I think a lot of people don't know that you can't do that. Like I would assume if you got a boat out of the water that's been down there for 10 years, you could take it home and not get in trouble.
That's what I thought. I was like a boat. I was like, it's just crap.
It's
You
a
know, like,
weird.
It's
a weird.
it's dumb red tape political laws that don't make any dang sense. But like they gave him hell about that. Like technically you stole that boat. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, gee whiz. You stole it.
I know they make it say he stole a rotting piece of fiberglass.
I mean, like, reason boats. Yeah, they have more red tape, more issues. Like I guess cars are like obviously don't belong in the water, but you would think a boat, sunken boat. Why would it matter? You would think it'd be a lesser issue, but it's kind of a more issue for some reason.
It's a lot less complicated than a boat.
Yeah. We want to start pulling out boats. We're trying to figure out how to do that also. I think just reporting it, and it would be fine.
It would be the saving grace.
Deb has a question for Candace. Candace, did you get your chicken coop together yet?
Oh my Lord.
no. I tried to do it today by myself, and apparently metal sheds now. You would think you put a frame up and then you put the siding on. That's not how the shed works. You put the siding on and then you connect it with frame.
You're speaking Greek to me. Yeah, I don't even get it at all.
Yeah, so I couldn't hold it up, screw all around, and then put the bars connecting. Like it just, I had to throw in the towel. I was not happy about it.
How many chickens you got?
14.
I thought we had 18.
14.
You sure?
Oh yeah. Well, tomorrow Tractor Supply gets more, so who knows?
Are you gonna give me
Yeah, how many were you supposed to have? I think is the real question. I bet you wanted 2.
Well, no, we agreed on 6 to start with.
Okay, all right.
And then I found out I couldn't order them from their Tractor Supply's website unless I ordered in groups of 10.
Mhm.
And then I couldn't tell what chicks I got. So I went to Tractor Supply almost immediately after receiving ours and to be able to tell what type of chickens they were. And came home with 4 more within the first hour of having the other ones. They have this thing called chicken math.
I think that's how it works, right? I've heard about this. I'm scared of it.
Chicken math?
Yes.
Well, the dog
Yeah. So chicken math is basically 1 chicken equals 3 chickens, I think is kind of how it boils down to. Or 2 chickens equals 6 chickens.
Yep.
That's the chicken math. So when she says I only want 2 chickens, that means she wants 6 chickens.
2 chickens is like 6 hot wings, maybe.
Mm-hmm. You may think they kind of do work together like that. I think it's very similar.
Or, well, no, I mean you got 2, 4. But then you got the wings too. You know,
That's
no.
Now, Candace, are you going to be okay with eating chickens, or are these just egg chickens?
I will not be eating these chickens.
Gotcha.
eggs, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the eggs. I'm a vet tech. I've beheaded animals for rabies testing, but I'm not doing it to my own chickens. I just can't do
Okay,
it.
that's fair. That's fair.
Go up and you're just like, that chicken's getting on my nerves. I'm gonna
Yeah, that rooster's getting on my nerves. That rooster's getting on my nerves. Yeah.
We were supposed to get all females, and today or yesterday, I had to separate out the chickens. The bigger ones, which
So 2 chickens equals 6 chickens legs, maybe.
the big are all black in color. So sadly, I had to move all the bigger chickens out of the area, and I felt so wrong separating them by color. But
It's different. Chickens. All right. No, it's
but so the black chickens kept beating up my other chickens. And so they got separated out because they're a bigger chicken that lays the like extra large eggs that are brown eggs, and my other one regular size eggs, so they're more petite. And then we have a runt too that's much smaller than the rest of the type that are like her. But I noticed the one that was being the meanest has a little bit more of a crust on its nose, and I think they accidentally.
It happens a lot from what I hear. In fact, I don't think it's an accident, to be honest. I think they stick them in there sometimes just so you guys deal with them.
You can eat roosters, right?
You can eat roosters.
Plucking it.
I'll pluck the hell out of it. Huh?
I was gonna say, so,
Right.
yeah, you don't want to kill the chickens, but what if Jeremy did? Like, could you deal with it if you didn't have to see the slaughter?
Don't name them. Don't treat them like pets.
You know what? I learned a while ago how to cook chicken. Not in this one, but look, all chicken life's better.
He doesn't get to cook at all.
I cook a mean ramen.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand.
Have you thought about meat rabbits? I hear they can end up being better than raising chickens for meat. Leave chickens for eggs and rabbits for meat.
Well, I'm just highly allergic to rabbits altogether.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
All right.
ixnay on the bunnies then.
I would walk into an exam room with rabbits, and my face would start to puff up.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Wow.
She also says she's allergic to scallops, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. I want to test.
Jeremy wants to test it.
I'm just curious. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's deadly.
So many, many, many years ago, he tried to cook chicken, and I watched him. I was pregnant with Fiona, so like 12 years ago. the way he cleans his hands after touching raw chicken is to just wipe it on the paper towel and start touching everything.
Oh, you're talking. I cooked the chicken fine. I didn't.
That could be
Yeah.
pretty deadly.
I didn't know. I mean, wipe your hands off. You know.
I don't know. I seen this guy on TikTok. He's like,
Eat chicken.
he's like every day he takes a bite of chicken until he gets a tummy ache.
Raw chicken.
Raw chicken.
He's eating raw chicken on TikTok videos.
And there's like the Liver King guy. He's just eating raw meat.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. Maybe we're supposed to eat raw.
I find
No.
I think it's all faked and staged. I call BS. I don't believe it. Okay. Listen, my tummy gets upset if I eat 2-day-old fried rice. Okay. I don't want to, there's no way that eating raw meat is going to work out. Okay. No way. Except for raw
NEP
fish, that's
wants to
cool.
know leg or breast.
Mhm.
An ostrich.
I mean, KFC, I'll take a breast because it's huge and it tastes amazing.
I don't think we'd get an. But I could see us with some emus.
I could see me moving to a motel.
Oh, those fighting words. I saw it. Fighting
Now,
words.
NEP has another question, and I was lurking on one of your live streams when you were talking about putting names on
Yep.
the wrecker or stickers or whatever. My question is, how much donation for a name or a sticker on your record?
We didn't really put a number set. I think it was just anybody who donated, gets their name out there. And so, like, the biggest problem right now is, like, obviously we can keep track of the GoFundMe ones, but some people don't want their name on there. They want, like, Bible verses. They want their business stickers, which we're cool for.
Yeah.
Like, if you send us your stickers, we'll put it on the record. The boom is what we're going to put all the names on. So it's going to be covered with names of donations. And then if people didn't want their names, they could send us stickers of their businesses or whatnot, YouTube channel, whatever. And we have a spot we're going to put those too.
Okay, well, Annie was asking, are you going to polish the record before you start adding the names to it? Names might not stick too long if it's too dirty.
Gotta figure out some logistics.
I think we'll prep the boom area, make sure because there's lots of flaking paint because it's just aged. But yeah, we'll make sure like the stickers will last. We'll clean it off and stuff.
And I have to sit and make a master list for people to look at, make sure that their names are spelled right, that's what they want on there. So there will be like a Google Docs or something that people can go to and look at and say if theirs is correct. If not, to send us an email and let us know. But I haven't had a moment to sit.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live stream once we figure that all out, and actually show us putting the names on.
It'd be cool if we could do a live with the computer and the vinyl cutter set up and just like in the mold all live.
Yeah.
I think I
maybe some top
donated
contributors
once.
that
I
get to
don't
see their
remember.
stickers getting printed out.
I think I donated. Did I donate on GoFundMe, Jeremy? I don't remember. I think I did for your new truck. I don't remember though.
Bold Lion would like to know what the GoFundMe page is. Do we have a link we could maybe share out?
I'm not a mod.
Where could I find it?
I mean,
will it let me post it?
Oh, and then Annie P said, "Are we still able to donate?" I think we got some people interested here.
You should be a mod, Adam. You've been on the show.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
If not, chat in the room if you can, and I'll mod you.
I'll add it in here in just a second. I got to.
Well, I'm looking for Nug's page on Facebook.
Facebook.
Hardy R.
Hardy har. Exploringwiththenug.com.
Yeah.
So while we're looking though, I'm gonna go ahead and ask a question that can get you guys thinking, and maybe we can get talking with it if you guys are okay. I'm sure I've asked both of you in the past, but I'm gonna ask it again, which I think would lead into the next question I'm gonna ask. But with the type of diving and recovery that you guys do, which is pretty intense and probably quite emotional, how do you prepare yourselves for doing something like perhaps stumbling across a deceased person who, could be quite soon, could be quite old, but what do you guys have to do to kind of psychologically prep yourself for seeing something that, people would consider a nightmare event, in their dreams?
My answer to that personally, I don't know how Adam handles it, but it's just sometimes it's just how I think how you're
I think
everybody's different on how they handle certain situations. And I was born with just it doesn't affect me in a way that it affects others. Like, of course I have compassion, and it's definitely something you'll never forget.
Yeah.
But it's not something that could, break me. Like, I don't know how to explain
I
it.
guess like I said, everybody's different. Some people get more emotional. Some people
panic.
you might panic. You might seem like you don't care and you have no emotion. But it's all. I feel like it's all about the cause of the what you're doing. Why you're doing it. You're trying to help the family and you're trying to do good, and you kind of look past it in the moment.
Like, at the beginning of the day, you're going out there to look for somebody who is deceased. You know what you're in store for. So, like, when you find it, it's just you're already prepared for what you're about to see. And you just got to take all the personal thoughts out of it. You got to just stow it. And then at the end of the day, when you come home, you sit down with I sit down with Candace. We just talk about it, and then it's just how certain people are built for certain things, and other people can't handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For
Like,
sure.
Personally, it's something I can handle. Like, I know it's traumatizing for others, and something I'll never forget, but it's something I can deal with. So it's just everybody's built differently, and some people can't handle it, and some people can. And it's just I don't know. It's just how I get it. It's just like
Now,
I can deal with
okay, with both of your answers, which I still think we can kind of keep it to a question for the both of you. Did you feel that way your first time, or is this something that you have learned to accept?
We was actually together the first time when we first seen a missing person being found. Saw.
Get them, Candace.
Thanks, Mom.
A little bit of a pet peeve.
But I mean, I was in awe more than anything. It was just something I've never seen, and I knew it was a whirlwind of emotion. I was like, man, he was found. It's sad. The family's sad. Everybody's, but and it's like bittersweet. And there's like the physical part of like, wow, that's a person who's passed on. So like, but that's his vessel, yeah, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I was just in awe and just kind of like, huh, but I could handle it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're out there, when you're on scene, it's important to like kind of keep your emotions yourself. You got to get through it. Your mission is to find it, give answers, and you don't want to. I don't know what am I saying. Like,
it's a hard thing to describe. To be honest with you.
I think that's why I'm so curious about it, guys. Is it's hard to even wrap my head around. Is like, I try to imagine being in your shoes or your scuba diving tanks, however you want to look at it. And I try to think that I could imagine what it would be like, but I think it's very difficult to even imagine the situations that you guys put yourselves into, which on one hand is giving relief and closure to a family, which must feel amazing. But I'd also say that it's probably emotionally draining and a little scary at the same time.
I remember I had one feeling, it might explain it. Like, when I always go back to it and I always feel bad talking about time, but like the two teenagers I found, when I dove on the car and I confirmed it was the car, I'm swimming around the car. I seen the tag. I was like, this is their car. All the windows are up. I knew, like, I was right beside the car, and there's the window, and you can't see inside the window. You can't see anything. But I was like, I knew they're inside this car. And it's almost like I was treating it as though they were still with us. I knew that they weren't alive anymore, but it was a mindset of like, okay, like you guys are in there. It's time to get you out of this car and get you where you belong. I kind of treated it as though like I was treating them as they were still with us, even though they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know.
So,
I can really appreciate that. Yeah.
I was like, I knew they passed away, but it was like, I was like, okay, you're, I found you. Now let's get you home. Let's get you out of this water.
Yeah.
You know, when you're standing up there and watching the car come out, it was just like, it's like, okay, well, we got him out of the water. Now let's get him here. And it's just bones, you know, it was just, but it was still like treating it as though it was like we found them, treating them as though they're still humans, you know, they're still loved ones. That's how I looked at it, kind of that way. Like I don't know, that's how I kind of treated it.
I think it's a great mindset to have, to be honest.
It's just I guess it's just a personal way. Like you still, you know, they're gone, but you're still talking to them. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like any first responder job. I feel like, you know, ER, ambulance people, that these cops that respond on accident scenes, you start to, it's kind of a bad thing to get used to, but I think it's important. It's an important line of work that people need to do. There's always going to be someone that needs to do the work, and you're going to have to witness these certain things in your line of work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say that's kind of spot on with the first responders, is that you need a certain type of person that is, like you said, whether it's Jeremy's mental on how he's going to recover, or Adam's mental on how you're going to recover. We need people that are going to be able to recover, just like we need people that are going to be able to respond, you know, in any of those things. So that's, I would say it's absolutely necessary.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed. Sorry. So I'm kind of taking over here, but it kind of leads into another question, which is, when you guys are doing these with families, we know that not always are you guys able to find closure. You know, you think you might have an answer, and you guys die for it, and you're not able to find it. So if both of you had magic wands that you could wave and be able to recover somebody that you maybe had personally wanted to find and not been able to, like, what are your guys's, who are your guys's people? Who would you find right now if you could?
Oh my goodness.
I know who I would want you to find immediately.
Ooh.
Christopher St. Joseph.
Oh.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Well, I guess the cases that we've worked on more so are the ones that come to mind. We've done a lot of work in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like every other day we're trying to help out a different family, and it's hard to stay locked into one case. But there are cases that we've worked over, you know, we've circled back to them again, and like, yeah, the Christopher St. Joseph, Huntsville, right? Huntsville, Alabama. We've been to that town a handful of times. We've searched for him a lot. I've been there by myself, searched.
Now, it doesn't always make it onto a video.
Yeah, like there's a few times I've gone by myself, didn't even make a video, just searched. Me and Adam have been there. We pulled cars out. Like, we pulled a pile of cars out there.
Yeah.
Because like while searching for him, we found, you know, gosh, six or seven cars.
Yeah.
So like, I guess it's the case is that we've worked more times than not, but it's hard to lock them down because we want to help everyone.
Right. You want to help everyone.
So many messages every single day of people that just want help, and we want to help the best we can.
Well, another one we worked on a lot is that was just solved was
Oscar
Lewis King, and he was missing in Center, Alabama.
He was in the lake that we searched. He was just in the lake is huge, and he was in a spot that is completely on the opposite side where he lived. Didn't make any sense why he'd be there.
I also read it was a private gated marina too.
Yeah, it was like a marina.
Oh.
It was a spot
So
we
he
never
shouldn't
even
have been able to get to it.
Well, it was weird.
Yeah, we searched for him a lot, found lots of cars in the process over years. And then a local fisherman came across him on the other side of the lake that we've never been to. So that was pretty cool. I'm glad he was found. But that was one that we worked on a lot. So
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and don't keep your still.
oh, Jason.
You might hear crunching.
No, listen, there is no judgment here. Let me tell you what, with those puppy chewings, let me tell you. My goodness.
I kind of miss the puppy chewings. Our dachshund died a while ago, old age.
Oh, yeah, very sweet dog though.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now, Deb has another question, and we all know you
I just
deal
want to
with
say,
the...
Deb, you've been asking some great questions the last 2 weeks. I'm really enjoying these, by the way.
Definitely. You guys have a lot of interaction with law enforcement. Is it positive for the most part?
Yeah, I've never, for the exception of the dive car that we kind of pulled out, and that was just one guy that was kind of irritated about it. But the Rangers,
the phone too.
The Rangers, the park rangers, they didn't care. They're like, that car hasn't been used in 10 years. I don't see what the big deal was. No, all the police are very positive. They think it's cool. Lots of the police we come across, it's like the first time they've been on that kind of call, so they're excited to come watch a car get pulled out.
Yep.
And like they're human just like the rest of us. They think it's cool, the curiosity of a vehicle being pulled out of the water. They're like, why is it there? What's in it?
I feel like we provide great training opportunities for all these new counties and cities we go to, because it's something new. And like we went to Austin, Texas, and like it must have been like 50 fire department people and cops. Like it was a ton of people. They just wanted to see it. They wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah,
it was pretty impressive. But yeah, it's always been positive. There may have been like one time, but not really with recoveries. I would say years ago was.
No, definitely not. Nope, they're very, very happy to watch and supportive.
I would have to say, though, that both of your guys' attitudes are quite respectful, and that you guys have, I don't know how to word this without being a little controversial, but it seems like you guys are willing to work with the officers where some channels may not be so inclined to do so. And I think that your good attitude has a tendency to bring out a good attitude in other people. We'll just leave it broad like that.
Yeah, I mean, what we're doing, you have to have police involved, so there's no point in picking a fight or being mean to them. Like when we pull a car, we have to have their resources to figure out what the story is behind the car. They can run the VIN number and figure out what we can't. And like, we need them. They're a vital part of removing vehicles from the water.
Yeah,
and all of them are very supportive. So there is no beef. There's no reason to fight.
The thing is, like, we want to do things the right way. We, as best as we can. It's kind of a weird loophole. The whole Retro Recovered channel idea is it was also kind of started behind a loophole where every time we find a car we wanted to pull out, if we call the police first, they don't let us do it. But if we pull it out first and do the work and then call, it's already out of the water and it's done. And it's
it is always better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, but it's never really been
right.
That's my T-shirt. I need that.
But it is kind of a thing we learned over time, and it's like, oh, it's already out of the water. They can immediately identify it. We're being
we're literally doing all the work for everyone.
We're saving them resources. I mean, it cost. We ran into another dive team pulling out a car. Coincidentally, we were going to check a boat ramp. Was it in Tennessee?
I think so. Yeah, but I think that was it. They said like it cost the city $10,000 to get a car out of the water.
Like $10,000.
Wow.
A couple hundred for gas costs.
I've never even. Yeah. Besides time and like gas money and labor, which we don't charge either.
Right.
Not to diminish them. It's just
having a
yeah, for sure, guys. We get that.
Yeah. We actually now have a 501c3 nonprofit that is for looking for missing people and water cleanup. So I think that helps too with the police. The fact that we can say we are a true nonprofit doing this.
Right.
I also just think it has a lot to do with your guys' character, and I want to give credit for that because I think you guys have great character. We'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
I thought so, but I always shoot.
What?
When did I start supporting you, Jeremy?
What's that?
Shoot, I think I was your first Patreon way before you even started doing. You were still using like that Nemo type thing you got from Australia.
Yes.
Oh, the Air Buddy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was when we're at the dive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Free
Yeah.
diving.
Oh yeah, a long time. But yeah, I used to have. I tried the Patreon, and I think you might have been my only supporter.
Well, I was for a while until I boycotted Patreon.
Yeah, I heard that, and you're like, support Patreon no more. And I was like, well, now I don't have any supporters.
Sorry. You know, I'm really surprised our friend Smith's Gold, Jeff Smith, never actually did that because he's been following you forever too.
Oh yeah.
And he's a great guy and a good friend also.
I call you guys the OGs.
Is it a little surreal now at this point where you're talking about OGs, you're talking about Ed's being your first Patreon, like is it a little surreal being as large as you guys are now? I mean, does it ever go to your head? Are you excited about it? Is it something that makes you uncomfortable? How do you feel about it?
Me personally, but I mean, having a lot of subscribers doesn't mean anything. I've learned. I mean, you could buy subscribers, you could have fake subscribers. It's the whole subscribers number doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Now, you're getting 1 million views on every video and they're legit and you're like swimming in cash. Yeah, you could probably get a big head and get pretty arrogant over it, but yeah, it definitely is not going to my head. I'm still hardworking middle class. I'm not making Bentley money. It's literally making money to pay the bills and just keep doing what we're doing.
I think we put like more money into more equipment and stuff to keep doing better videos than anything.
That's a problem.
Better videos and safer recoveries, and you're reinvesting what you can when you can.
I'm excited for the future to see what it grows to. I mean, there's like bigger ideas. I'd love to, have our own junkyard with all the cars we pull.
Not
out.
on my property.
Well, I get that.
Pull them out and let people come see, or make our own pick and pull, or like have other just grow it and make it. I mean, I always, it's funny. I think it's a goal for both of our channels. Is I'd love to run out of people to search for and run out of cars to find. Like, I'd love them to all be found and removed and solved, and we'd be out of work because there'd be no more missing people.
I don't think we'll ever run out of cars.
I mean, sadly, I don't. It's like a funny thing to say, kind of not funny, but
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm sure if you went to Boston Harbor, you'd never run out of cars.
Yeah.
People are always going to steal cars, dump them in the rivers.
But I guess the goal is to have no goal. To kind of the way I like to think about it. But I think we're always going to stay busy. It's just it's so impressive how many cars you can almost go to any body of water. I mean, lake or river, and you're going to find a car somewhere if you look. So
yeah.
I would have never believed you until I entered into the YouTube world and witnessed what you guys do for a living. Because I know that you're looking for recovered people for the most part, but even when we met up in Tennessee, and the amount of cars that you guys pulled out from one spot in the river, and most of them probably were joyride cars that people wanted to ditch, I was flabbergasted at the amount of vehicles that showed up in just one spot.
Oh yeah.
If you guys had
down
unlimited
in
funds
Tennessee,
and
Rose.
yeah, all the cameras in the world, you guys could do that every single day.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that Nashville. Man, I bet there's still cars everywhere out there.
Well, there's still
Right.
half a car.
Right. Right at that one boat ramp.
Now that had been a ferry crossing.
Oh, okay.
So some of the older cars, the theory was they fell off the ferry.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. All right. They
Damn
didn't want to admit that
Via
they were
says
stolen.
parking
No.
lot's full.
We can put on
Um,
another.
Paul C asked, and I love this, how does a case come to you guys? How do you decide on what you're going to pick up? You know, how does it happen?
Now it's just messages, emails, Facebook messages. People reach out every single day asking for help, and then it's cases we've already worked that we get new information on. And
I'm part of a lot of missing person Facebook pages, so I see them there too.
Yeah, I mean most of the older cases I think everybody kind of has a list of those, but there's so many that just happen that are like a week old or a month old, and they don't promote out in the world as well. So the community effort is really amazing. How people follow us and they'll send us those cases they see on their local news station that don't get out. And
yeah, we people just going missing, and like it just hasn't, because like every day people are going missing, and like the word doesn't really spread until they've been missing for a while. And that, to segue off that, if I use that word right,
yeah,
is it would be nice because there's a window. Like this is my little side vision, is like there's a window where people go missing and there's a chance that they could still be alive.
Yeah.
Like you hear this all the time. The car crash, they go off a ravine and they're laying at the bottom of some canyon and they're still alive, trapped in the car. And like they're found after like a few days or a week.
Yeah.
And alive. And like there's a few cases that like we've worked, and it just seems like if somebody knew about this a little bit sooner, or if the word got out quicker and there's a search, they could have been saved, But instead of just not like, I don't know, like I've been daydreaming about getting a thermal drone for aerial searches for missing,
For sure.
like missing hikers, crashed motorcyclists that go off like off into the woods, and like it would be nice to search for a missing person and to end it with that missing person was found alive, because right now everything we do, sadly, it's somebody that we know is passed. And
Okay, so you've never found anybody alive?
Well, we haven't found them like ourselves, but I mean, there's been a case. There was a case in Covington where was a mother and son went missing for I think a week or something, and then we went out there, we started like searching, looking in the woods, kind of stirring the pot, and then eventually, I guess the mom got word that they were alive, and we don't know the circumstances, but they were safe. So it was kind of nice to learn that.
That was nice / irritating because like we went to the town, we started searching bodies of water. We were hiking. We were searching everywhere we could think of because like they had a lot of information to go by. They were like they had a lot of information. We're like, now let's look everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, they were alive. So it was a good ending, but more of that would be fun. Like have good news all around.
Do you guys find it emotionally exhausting? And I'm sorry, it's probably the same question, but I'm gonna ask again, to be on so many cases where you're not gonna have a happy ending. I know that closure is a happy ending, but I'm talking about finding the people alive or the families alive. Doesn't it drain you? And Candace, you're allowed to answer this too, especially if you're following these missing people cases on Facebook. Aren't you exhausted from hearing these sad stories?
I wouldn't say exhausted. I think for us it makes us more protective of our kids, but
For sure, yeah.
Reading through case after case of child kidnapped and child missing, and you can't help but come across those cases. So it's some of the
There's lots of missing children cases too.
yeah.
That's sad.
sad.
Yeah.
And I mean, we get written all the time about, you go look for this kid that went swimming in a river or a lake. Unfortunately, it does seem like a lot of the time it's the other side of the country, like Oregon. And by the time we get driving there, unfortunately, the way bodies do come up, they would be found and surfaced by the time we would make it there.
Right. Right.
That's the hard part, is not able to make it all the way across country for certain cases.
I mean, luckily, there's more people doing this, but a lot of times I feel like it's like a helpless feeling. Like, we can't do it. There's too many cases, and we don't always have the right equipment. We're trying to always get different. Our new boat allows us to do bigger areas like lakes and stuff.
That's the cat's caught.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, there's like we've been hearing a lot of recent cases like, oh, guy fell off a bridge and they're looking for him, but it's like you'd have to have a jet boat or like a certain boat that there's a lot of rapids and stuff, and it's definitely an expensive thing for doing.
Have to have all the types of boats, and
I think the other thing to add on your previous question, like having growing in popularity, having all these followers, like it definitely helps us with searches, especially like really specific things, the community involvement. If people are more than willing to help us out, like I can just put a post out on Facebook or whatever. I guess 2 examples. Recently I was like, we were in North Carolina, and I was like, is there any tow companies that can help us in a few days? And I got a bunch of people saying, yeah, we can help you. Or even like, there's a case we're looking to now. I was like, I'm trying to get access to a gated community neighborhood. And I'm like, this is a long shot, but does anybody live in this specific neighborhood in South Carolina? And people have been saying, yeah, my parents live there. I can get you access. And it's like, it's such a random spot. It feels like we can go anywhere. And I think it's pretty cool that it's grown that much. And hopefully it just keeps growing. And that's what I think. Being bigger just means being able to do more and help more people.
I don't find like the exhausting thing. I think I find it more like exhausting and disappointing, like because we search so much and like not. I mean, more. Gosh, 90% of the time we're not finding anything. We're clearing spots. We're clearing spots where they're not at. And it's like after spending all day out on the river, diving in freezing water, and then coming home empty-handed, that's what kills me the most. Is like I wish we could get the answers to the families, but the only thing we could give them is like, well, we know they're not there, and so it's narrowing down the search, but it's so it's such a big world out there. Like at the end of the day, you have no idea where they went.
Actually, solving cases is the reality is pretty few and far between. We end up finding all of these cars in the process. We clear tons of areas, but sometimes some of these people could just be in not even anywhere near where they went missing, or in just the strangest of spots. And
don't mind me.
It's a pretty difficult thing, but we keep going.
Yeah,
I think I use the word exhausting or emotional a lot, because I have a hard time wrapping around how you guys can handle it, to be honest. It's very difficult for me to imagine what you do, what you volunteer your time towards, or what you guys work so hard to have your channel earn, to give you these opportunities. So I use these words, but you guys, by no means do I use those specifically for you guys, for sure.
Or focusing on Wrecked and Recovered, I guess, kind of in this channel. Wrecked and Recovered is kind of a way to give us a success when there's, and I wouldn't call our searches people failures, because we're ruling out spots, but on Wrecked and Recovered, you have a mission and you get the car out and it's success. You clean up the water and it's, you're accomplishing something. Most of the time we're just searching and not accomplishing our ultimate goal of finding somebody. It's just so difficult a lot of times, but Wrecked and Recovered's kind of a good I don't know, coping or what would you say? It's like a good relief.
Therapeutical.
It's fun.
Yeah, finding the words are tough for sure. Yeah.
Doing something good for the environment, community, and it's fun and
it's a fun challenge too.
Yeah,
pulling cars out of the water isn't easy. Usually, there's always something that messes, like it throws a roadblock. But at the end of the day, we haven't failed yet, and every so often we'll find a car like the Volkswagen Bug. That was fun just because like sometimes you get a car that's just a fun car and people like seeing them.
We do have some secret cars that are cool and different that we're eventually gonna get out, and those are gonna be some fun episodes.
Oh, we just recently found a couple, and one be really neat. That big old the first one.
The one we found yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, are we gonna get that out? We
can try. I mean, well, we found like an early '80s. It's like a deluxe van, and all it says on the back is Ram Van is the model, and it's got like a ladder on the back, and it's got like windows on the roof. It's this butt ugly van, but it is for its time. I think this thing was probably sweet, and so if we could get that out of the water,
I don't know if we'll be able to.
Yeah, it is like more like 60% buried, so I don't know if we could even get it out of the mud. But if we could get it broke loose, that'd be a fun one to pull out.
You guys, excuse me. I'm going to take a potty break real quick.
Well, on that note, I have a couple of questions waiting here. We have one by Annie P. and then Annette. Do you search bodies of water others have already searched just to double check?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It really just depends, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if we know for a fact that somebody else has searched the water, then chances are we won't. But if there's any kind of confusion, depending, it's like there's a lot of variables. But like if there's a team that went and searched this spot and they made a video and filmed it, then we obviously know that spot's been cleared, so there's no point in doing it again. But if we don't know where the other teams have searched, then chances are we're just like, well, we're searching anyways because we don't know.
I mean, you definitely can miss things. I mean, we've missed things. Other people have missed. When you're looking at a sonar screen, depending on the environment, like we found a car in a second car that we didn't see the first time in the spot we just went, the next day. So
yeah, like the water
was different.
The water was deeper and it was muddy because of like a lot of rain. And then we went back. Water was like 5 foot shallower. It was green and clear. And then all of a sudden the picture on the sonar was crystal clear. We're like, oh crap, there's another car we didn't even see. So like conditions, will change things too.
Right.
I don't think it's anything to like get mad at another team if you miss or find. It's just kind of had the process. Nobody's perfect,
Yeah.
Okay.
But
now,
yeah,
sorry. Now, GoPro Unlimited. What's your search radius from home base? How far do you travel from home base to recover for a recovery search?
I mean, it really depends on
where the water is. I mean, the case we were just working on, all the water was like 20 minutes kind of away from the town. So that's kind of where we were driving to.
I think from here.
Like how far do we travel?
Case.
Well, he's 4 hours from me.
Oh gosh. Well, we just went to
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we don't go past Texas.
I mean, you've been to New York City recently.
Yeah, so from Texas around the country.
It really all depends. We're in the southern areas. But I mean, a couple times a year we'll venture, we'll get a plan together, and sometimes we go all the way to Texas, we go all the way up to New York, West Virginia, Michigan. But mainly like unless we get like these big trips planned, we'll stick around to the southeast areas.
Tennessee keeps us pretty.
Tennessee is
Tennessee and Alabama.
Tennessee, Alabama always got a lot to do. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, those states are pretty good. South, I mean, you got
like Florida's. I guess the other team, Sunshine State, they I feel like they covered Florida pretty good, you know, because they live there and it's so far down. Like certain states, it's kind of just I don't know.
Yeah. Well, our area, Georgia, North Georgia. Well, actually, technically, all of Georgia doesn't have any natural lakes. Everything's man-made. So basically, from Atlanta north, every lake is drained during the winter. So it just becomes a river.
Right.
So they still have like a channel, but for the most part, where all the boat ramps are, it's dry. All the shores are dry. So it makes it where we know that unless it's a fresh case, it's nothing near.
Okay. I know they do that to a few reservoirs here up in Ohio and Indiana. They'll drain them to the channel during the winter. Now, David Villa is wondering, you keep in contact with the local Leos? With the Leos, you know?
we don't stay in contact with them.
I mean, I guess they'll occasionally hit us up maybe for something. It doesn't happen a lot though.
No, because like at the I don't know. Like I've always looked at it as, you know, we're civilians. They're the ones who's trained. So sometimes there's a little bit of this is, you know, we do this for a living. You guys, you know, freelance, private sector. There's lots of red tape and boundaries. And I think there is like guidelines and rules. Police aren't necessarily allowed to ask us to do things.
Yeah.
They could beat around the bush and kind of hint, but
Right.
they can't affect. We need you to come search this area. I think there's red tape that prevents them from doing that. I personally ain't buddies with any police, you know, so like it's very rare if any police officers reach out to me.
I think it's so on like the form of social media where they're watching videos and they may be able to like give us some information. I think in the past they may have like looked up a plate or something we found on a live stream or something, trying to get info for, or somebody in some form of law enforcement has maybe some more answers that they can help us some, because we have a lot of our audience is divers, are people in law enforcement. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got lots of dive teams watching us, and like, you know, obviously we don't do everything by the book and right. So, but at the same time, we do lots of stuff that they're like, oh,
yeah, like that. I mean, that learning how to use a tow truck. I always say we're we're divers, playing tow truck drivers.
Oh yeah, we learned everything with the tow truck, the school of hard knocks. Like, we didn't have anybody. Luckily, we didn't get ourselves killed in the process.
There's a lot of we're still learning every day. It seems like every carpool we're learning something.
It's starting to get easier though with repetition. Like we're figuring out, like, okay, we definitely should not do that again.
Yeah, you can feel it when it's like about to snap. So you just ease off, and then
like the very first car we pulled out, we didn't break the cable, but like one of the fasteners broke.
It was cheap.
It was still terrifying. So we're like, okay, let's not do that again.
Or trying to pull down a tree with the wrecker.
Yeah, definitely pull down trees. They don't work. They don't work at all. But that's different.
I've got a great question here. I think I'm gonna let it lead into another question. But Chris Math, Candace says, I like to watch your channels, but I miss cat toy videos. I'm going to lead into this a little bit. Can we expect any more videos? And if we can expect any more videos, will Nug be playing the role of cat anytime soon?
I've actually this time, but
I tell you, if I ever became kind of like A-list celebrity, that video would come back and haunt me. I mean, I definitely should have covered my face. But on the flip side, I'm a supportive husband, so I can always throw that out.
That's right. It was an amazing video for sure.
God, it was so bad.
Am I? Is that the one with the Tesla car toy thing?
No, he was pretending to be a cat for me for my intro.
Okay. I something vaguely remember. I remember something vaguely about that too.
Yeah, if I ever make it big,
That was pretty funny.
that was gonna come back. You remember this? Like, oh god.
It's gonna come back in a good way. It will give you nothing but positive
Maybe
feedback.
something like Jimmy Fallon and be like, "Hey, I found this video on YouTube."
But I have to say, how many people were like, "Oh, Nook came up with such a good idea doing that cat." I'm like, why do people think I can't be funny?
That was like she'll do something on the cabin and be like, "Oh, your husband did a great job." And I was like, I had nothing to do with that.
The 300
Oh,
pounds.
those who know it's all Candace on the cabin, and you just keep on stealing her tools.
Pretty much. Like,
Very much.
Right now, like half her tools are out in the boat.
Now, Annette, oh geez, I don't even want to try and butcher that last name, Annette. Is there a general database or system that all of you search and recovery teams can mark a body of water clear so you don't waste time on a lake or a river that's just been searched?
Well, there is one, but
Well, it's amazing that you brought that up. We attempted, Candace led this. We tried. We even have the website up. And our goal was to bring all the search teams together, small and large, to use this website to mark, to do exactly what you just said. Like, put in the information, tell us where, what places have been searched, what places need to be searched, all that stuff. And we thought it was a great idea and put the word out. And I think there was only one search team that even attempted it once, and that was only
they registered, but they never even gave us location.
They registered and never put any info in. It was utter failure.
Oh,
At the end of the day, it takes everybody who is doing this to want to actually work together, and it's just at the end of that's not really the case.
that's hard. That's hard to do.
Everybody is doing their thing and they have their ways and their procedures, and when it doesn't click, like we might be doing something that some other team is doing that they don't like, and vice versa, and it was a failure. Nobody wanted to come together and utilize this tool. So
and you hear a lot, if it isn't searched by me, it hasn't been searched.
Yeah, that's
like if I didn't clear it, then that it's it's just this, I don't know.
I mean,
that's tough. That's got to be really tough, guys.
So
yeah, great idea, guys, but it's a shame that others aren't jumping on board with it, and all of you work together as a huge cohesive team instead of
a couple years ago, or maybe a year ago, things were looking good, but ever since that one team got in trouble with the law and everybody went their separate ways, that's when everything.
I know who you're.
It was a little bit before that, personally, but
most people are.
It makes sense. Like, it's just like, I don't know. Everybody just, I don't know. It is what it is.
Deb wants to know, hey Adam, was it pink?
Deb's asked this 2 times at least.
I know, I saw him.
Pink joke. I don't think that'll be my cat video moment.
And that van was pink.
That pink. It was. I swear it was pink.
That's what I say, that van was.
That van I found in Texas. Yeah.
No, the van. Oh yeah, well that's right.
That's where it started.
Well, I'm saying the van that we just found yesterday. It was red. And I was like, oh, look, it's a pink.
Is it red? I bet you it's. One day we're gonna actually find a pink car, and then I'll be like, yes.
I was like, I knew it was out there. Pink cars.
We just pulled up like a weird green one, like we haven't had any crazy colors, really. I don't think, have we?
No, and nothing crazy yet.
Pulling all these cars out, seeing all these cars, do you guys have a vehicle that you would never buy?
Buy?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know.
But don't. The Kias are getting stolen a lot. The Elan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kias and Hyundais.
The Kia boys.
Apparently, there's a big thing where you can
Use a quarter.
yeah, you can start these things and steal them like really easily. So like in Austin, there's they call it the Kia boys is what the cops told us, and they just go out and steal Kias, and that's it because they're so easy to steal. So,
But I have a 2022 Kia. It doesn't have that problem. Just say.
Let's
Oh,
find.
my daughter has an older Kia, and they actually just replaced her security system for her. They replaced it.
Really?
They changed it out for her, and she bought it used, and they changed it out for her because St. Louis is because we're right next to St. Louis. There's a current challenge going on right now in the St. Louis area, which is steal a Kia. Like that's a popular thing going on right now. So Kia and St. Louis have worked together. At first, they made them supply the red bars that you put on the steering wheel. Kia had to pay for that, but now Kia is recalling the security system and replacing the security system for people, at least in St. Louis.
Yeah. And if you live in Atlanta, you cannot get insurance right now if you have one of those Kias and it has not been.
Same thing's pretty much happening in St. Louis. Is Kia's either got to fix it or the companies are not going to cover it, which is crazy because those are affordable vehicles for our young kids. So it's tough.
GoPro Unlimited asks a question. Do you personally, as Wrecked and Recovered or Adam Brown Adventures or Exploring with Nug, have a checklist you go by to decide whether or not to go to a search area?
nope.
I mean, obviously we look
If
if there's a lot of water nearby. It's kind of the main thing, because there's so many cases, even people in cars missing, and we'll look at Google Maps and it's just like there's no ponds.
Yeah, there's not a body of water, even a creek for 30 miles. You're like,
That's what we specialize in, so that's what we focus on. But we also are trying to branch out and do more woods searching and walking. And no, I don't think anybody else is really doing that.
I mean, it's like what you're saying.
I mean, not like
Well, like let's say, for instance, this one guy that went missing. We did a few videos searching for him, and he went to go fishing, and he parked his truck on the side of the road. He went back to his fishing hole, and there's a security camera, and they caught him like he was swimming in the creek, and then he gets out of the creek and he walks into the woods and he vanishes. And so me and Adam went and searched the woods, and then I went back by myself, and I had like that 1X app where I could track my movements.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a grid search by myself in the woods just to see if by chance, maybe he committed suicide in the woods somewhere, or
I watched that video.
But we're trying to do land searches depending on like the story behind it, like missing hikers, motorcycle crashes, there's lots of cases where they found on the side of the road, but they're missing. So like they parked their car, maybe they walked off into the woods to go to the bathroom, got turned around, who knows? But it really depends on the situation of the missing person. I won't say no to anybody unless it's like, obviously there's nothing we can do that's not already been done.
Right. Now, will you take up like murder cases or
I don't
or
care.
is that kind of a no-go?
I think we do it more so than other people, but I think if it was like a specific case where they were like on the loose nearby, I don't know.
I mean, we've done it before.
Jackson, you just did one.
Well,
Well, remember Travis, or Baxter, Tennessee. Remember, we was looking for that guy in the pond in the backyard,
oh yeah. I guess we do it.
and then we looked around for him.
And then you did the girl in Dalton.
I don't want to say no to a family that needs help. You
No.
know?
Yeah, that's gonna be so hard.
If there's an
Right.
element of danger, like I'll do it, but I'm not going to tell anybody I'm doing it because I want to stay incognito.
Right.
And then, like, you know, I'll arm myself. But biggest thing is if I'm going to go search for somebody and there's obviously it's a murder and there's the murder, the bad guy's on the loose. If I do it, I just will be, you know, I'll just be secretive about it. I'm like, I'm not going to broadcast. I'm going to go search for this missing person. And then the murderer sees my Facebook post and then I get offed, you know, so.
Well, we did a case in Pennsylvania where I had the private detective sitting with me with her gun. I had your gun. And you two were off the other private detective, which a video was never made of this, by the way. So
Oh, that was the. That was,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I remember that. That was Jake's cousin or somewhere. You know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we didn't make a video, did we?
There's
No,
there's a lot of searches we do that we don't put videos out. That's another thing, but
Yeah. So that is definitely something. There's a lot, like every single week you guys are out. So even if there's not a video, it doesn't mean that they're not out looking for someone
Right.
or
Right.
Oh, for sure.
I want to go live more, but the reality is like it's pretty exhausting. And by the time it's hard to think about going live when you're so in the moment of searching. Or my goal on For Wreck and Recover though is to do more lives while we're pulling out the car. I actually have a pretty cool setup. My dream goal would be able to go like live for 8 hours, like just all day. Take people along with us.
That's a lot. That's a lot. You need some cameramen for that. You know, that's a significant amount of time to go live for sure.
A backpack setup.
Yeah.
It has like a camera on the thing, so I would just wear that. But I think there's some things we have to worry about because we might forget we're live, and this guy's a sailor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys feel a certain amount of pressure to act a certain way for the camera?
I mean,
You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, or you can skirt around it. But I mean, I can tell you that I think that they're.
don't be, but what you say.
honestly, you get what you get, but he does tone down the potty mouth
Sure.
for these things.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, there's rules like you can't be F this and F that on YouTube. Like they'll, you know, you want to stay PC. You can't be telling dirty jokes and all that stuff.
We try to stay family friendly, and
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of comments. People appreciate it.
I mean, I'll slip up and say like innocent bad words, and people.
Well,
Yeah.
The power of editing is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Right, Adam. Yeah. Yeah. The power of editing. But
So
live streams, you don't have editing, and doing it out in the field, it's hard to have a delay where you could beep an F word or something like that.
I mean, is that a little? I mean, first of all, they say people with potty mouths have a tendency to be more trustworthy and honest. I'm just throwing that out there. But do you find it a little frustrating that you can't be yourself just a little bit more for the YouTube? Is that a little tough?
I mean, I would prefer to keep myself in check a little bit, but like I'm pretty real. Like if I always tell everybody, if anybody ever meets me at the gas station, I'm the same way that I'm on camera. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a real guy, just goofing off, having fun. But at the same time, like I got a sailor mouth. You know, I'm a military person.
That only pops loogies all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm a dirty man when it comes like sweating and just I don't know.
Nug, if it makes you feel any better, just recently I had a channel that I follow regularly and love get demonetized for a little bit. It's remonetized, so I'm not even going to say it out loud. But there was a temporary time where he was letting everybody just go ham on his channel, and I chose to speak freely, and it shocked a lot of people. So
Well, they thought They thought you was a good girl, and then they're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, but I never tried to hide anything. But I would say when we were vixens, we did always try to make it at least family appropriate. But that's not who I am as an individual, and I can be quite the potty mouth myself.
I don't know. You found some stuff near a bridge a few times that was near the.
If I get really excited, I can't control. I can't control it.
I think we've all found. I don't know why. Like I know I found one,
but I think it was the same bridge. She may have found stuff on 2 different occasions, or it was near that jail.
Are you talking about the toy?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was like around the vicinity of this jail or prison, whatever you want to call it.
Have you found?
Yeah.
Are you talking a toy, like a pleasure toy? Kind of like what you and Angela has found half a dozen times, Rose?
By the way, there's 4 channels out there now. It's not just us. It happens frequently. It is not just us. I don't know why they make it in the water.
Yeah, he found a doll.
Well, I was with. I wasn't alone for that one.
That was a Tech Fort Worth.
Yeah,
I was out walking a creek. Found a whole doll laying there. Found a doll.
Boy.
He looked shocked. He looked surprised, like, oh.
Do you guys, we're talking about finding all these weird things in the water. Do you ever kind of miss the searching and cleanup of the dirty stuff, or the magnet fishing, or you guys ever miss the, finding the garbage?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we actually are been talking about, bringing some of those videos back, because we're always out anyways. So like, well, while we're out here searching, like we can always spend a day. We sometimes we come across spots that look like great spots to dive, and we can't make the time for it. So like maybe we take another day, just make a couple videos, actually just having fun, and just diving for goodies.
We occasionally still, walk canals, and I think it all comes down to time for us, because we're trying to not be away from our families for as little, as much as possible, as little as possible. But like canal walking is pretty easy. We can do quickly and make a video. I think the diving, it just takes so much more time when our main goal is to try to help find these missing people and search. So it's we want to do it. It's just there's not enough time in the day and the week to do everything we want.
Speaking of time, I get on my Saving the Cabin channel about you not being here to help us. He lives 4 hours away, and people think, oh, well, Jeremy needed help getting that beam across the yard. What they didn't see, there was the truck bed camper was up on its stilts, and he was having to drag a 300-pound beam underneath the camper. I have disc issues. Yeah, he did. There was no way I was going to.
Right.
So we came up with the idea of putting it on the hand truck, and of course, everyone called you a genius.
Right, that was her idea.
I love it.
Good call. Thanks for giving that away. Thanks for letting us know.
Yep.
But yeah, people are like, well, why didn't you have Adam help put it up? I'm like, he's not going to drive 4 hours to unload the truck.
It was like, he don't live next door.
Yeah, you know what though? These guys watching videos and stuff like that, they don't see the behind the scenes. All they see is you guys together, and they think it is as simple as you guys being together, for sure. Because we get that even now today, and Angela and I don't make videos to get together anymore, but tons of comments like, why don't you have Angela with you? She lives just one city away from me, but we have different lives. We're 2 different people. We got 2 different things going on.
Stuff happens, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll get slack, or he'll get slack even, of Jeremy should be helping you with this. Well, if Jeremy's not looking for missing people, he's editing, and that's a big full-time cycle. I mean, Adam's traveling too. It literally consumes their time.
Oh, I could imagine.
That's gonna be tough to hear that.
Annie P wants to know, Adam, how are Carrie and Honey doing?
Carrie and Honey are doing great. Carrie's my wife, and Honey's my dog.
If you couldn't help them.
Yeah. Oh, she is my honey too.
Oh.
We're doing good. Staying busy.
They made it through their first year.
Yeah, it's been a year. There could be bigger things we're trying to do, if you catch my drift, but
right.
You mean?
You know, nothing's,
She's not in the chat room.
nothing's happened yet, but we're working on some things.
Growing the clan.
Maybe
maybe
growing the
not.
family a little bit.
Right on.
So what? Like,
And Candace, I'm sorry. So we brought it up a little bit, and I don't want to go too long into it. I know we're getting close to end time here, but and I know you have other things going on with the homestead, but do you have any intention of bringing back cat toy videos?
Yes, but we have to be living in our cabin before I can do that.
Do you guys have a time frame for that, by the way? Do you know a goal?
Last Christmas.
well, the next biggest thing, we have to run a new water line into the cabin. All the PVC pipe is brittle and falling
Yeah,
apart.
you can crush it with your hand.
So we get water, and then we can really start making things happen. And right now we got the roof, so it's dry, but without water, we can't poo, we can't shower, can't
have a bath.
Can't do laundry. So like we're kind of stuck out here till we get water in that thing. But
okay.
How are the kids handling it?
Huh?
How are the kids handling it?
They're cool. They like it in here.
It's like camping all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, they have like a zip line, a Ninja Warrior course outside. There's
all kinds of stuff to play with.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're inside on their iPads. So I mean,
right. That's listen. I mean, it's better. Honestly, if you can get them outside for 10 minutes, it's better than most of us. So
yeah.
Well, our son's deathly afraid of anything that flies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if it's warm, he won't go outside because he knows that's when bugs come out.
Well, Illinois is about to have a double batch of the cicadas. It's a 17-year. I wish JP was here. There's 17-year and a 7-year, I think. We're about to get clobbered with cicadas. My daughter will not leave the house. She won't do it. She's not going to.
That is the best. I remember that happened when I was a teenager up in Dalton. And all the fish, like
Dalton, Georgia.
Yeah, all the fish from the bottom of the rivers would come to the top to eat these things. And so it was just a free-for-all fishing. It was great.
Seems like we have cicadas every year. Full of gold, Caleb from Down Under. Have you ever found something interesting that is not related to a search before? And if so, what? I'm sure they have, Caleb.
Well, we pulled out some cars in Chattanooga, and while we was there, the water was really clear, and we started noticing that there was lots of oddball stuff laying around. So like, well, let's just dive, have it over the. Well, I ended up finding a samurai sword too.
Wow!
Yeah, the same.
Cow!
And you found some witch jars and stuff before too, right?
We've all found those. It's just part of the Wiccan community. So.
Part of the ritual, and it goes back to Celtic. They throw stuff in the water.
I had the whole Wiccan community like raining down on me on TikTok. Like,
oh goodness!
I posted a video of me opening one of the bottles and dumping it out, and it had needles and hot sauce and all kinds of other nasty stuff in it. And I posted that video, and it went viral on TikTok, but it went viral in witch talk, is what they call it. All the weirdos were making like videos, like telling me I'm doomed and I'm a dead man, and they're casting spells on me, and I'm just like, like this is funny, and like
it was not very kind for witches,
Oh yeah, I mean, I was laughing. I kind of instigated. I was poking at them all. I was like, you ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah. Now, Annie P says those false teeth were awesome.
Oh, those are great. I still got those. Like they're super old.
That's weird.
Actually, I have some stuff from your river find when you were just going in the river and stuff. Some bullets. I have my aluminum nug thing you poured still. all kinds of stuff. You sent me a pretty good sized box, Jeremy.
Take all the aluminum stuff. Like I remember I found an old aluminum vacuum in the river, and I took it home and smashed it and melted it down.
Well, that is one thing I want. We're trying to come up with cool ideas, stuff to give away or sell to help raise more money. And like on one episode of Wrecked and Recovered, I listed one of the car parts, I think the emblem on eBay, to try to auction it off to raise money, and it did okay, but then something happened and they never paid. So I don't think it's a perfect system. Good idea.
Oh, he was the winning bidder, but he never paid you.
Somebody will.
Did you give him the red check?
Well, I don't know who it was, but I never got money, so it was kind of like I would love to like list car parts or get the aluminum or whatever the metals, and we do something with it, like a car, melt it down.
I thought that was a good idea what you did, Jeremy, when you made those like medallions out of aluminum scrap that you would collect. Our buddy Jeff Smith's in here now. Do you have any of those, Jeff? I do.
Yeah, I made a handful of them. Definitely limited edition.
Yes. It's out in my shed on the wall, on my shelf. Good. With a bunch of other collectible stuff.
I should make him a sign.
Okay.
Like the wood signs that we have for all our channels.
Oh, yeah.
With the laser cutter.
Yeah, Candace is into the wood laser burning stuff, too. So she's like,
cool.
Awesome.
Logo into some
sure,
wood.
Whenever you want, Candace. I'd love it, you know. I'm still at the same place where you sent the catnip for for Lucky.
Yep.
And I'm not having no Flash Bash this year, Candace, but I am going camping on my birthday. And if you're up in Central Ohio in September, you're more than welcome to join me. And if you two come up, you and your family, I will even pay for your spot. I'm just letting people know where I'm going to be on my birthday weekend. And I don't know if it's going to be the weekend after my birthday yet or the weekend before my birthday. But I will. And it's going to be at my friend's campground in Butler, Ohio. And it's
wonderful campground.
It's where we had the last Flash Bash. And I'm telling everybody, I'm not having an outing. I'm just going to be there. And if you want to join me, you're more than welcome. You just have to make your own deal with the owner of the campground. But I'll take care of you. And Jeremy, if you come up, Candace, with the kiddos and stuff. Because I know you brought it up to me before about Flash Bash.
I know. I had it on our calendar and everything for last year.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's been a tough couple of years, man. It's been a tough couple of years for everybody. But, you know, with that being said, I know, Ed, I know you're not doing Flash Bash, but there is another festival right before that time frame called Freedom Fest that's going on this year, too.
That's
and
true.
I would tell you that Jeremy and Candace and Adam, if you guys wanted to make your way there, I would cover tickets, too, to see you guys there. So,
and
you know,
that's
if you're looking
in
for,
Central
or
Southern Indiana. At Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp.
That's May 17th through the 19th, this 2024.
Yeah, Can Do Veterans Birthday Weekend, right?
That's so it's Can Do Veteran and Grease Monkey together at Cottonwood Gold Camp. They're working together on it, but it's going to be a pretty epic event. I mean, there are going to be a significant amount of YouTube channels there. True, and I think everybody would just go a little bit crazy if you guys showed up. Candace, I'd be a little bit of a fangirl. I'm just saying, a little bit of one. All right. But you guys are welcome if you'd like to join.
I don't think we would be able to do that one in May just because it's the week before the last week of school.
Oh,
yeah. It'd probably be, I don't know what we're doing, but.
Yeah, they may be able to.
There's a chance me and Jeremy might. It really depends where we're at. I don't know if we haven't gone to Ohio. We haven't gone to Ohio yet.
Yes, not.
Well, this is Indiana, just so you know. Indiana.
Yeah,
Ohio.
Freedom Fest is in southern Indiana
That's right.
at a really nice gold camp. Jim and his wife are fixing it up more and more each year.
That's right.
There's decent color there and garnets and fossils and
Amen. I like fossil hunting.
it's
Yeah,
a nice
honestly,
area.
I seldomly look for the gold. I like to say I do something called trolloping, where I just trollop around all day long. But I do make it to the creek and I do look for the fossils or gemstones and stuff like that. But I'm not much of a gold hunter myself. I just enjoy the gold community for sure. Great people.
Like it.
Yeah. If you guys ever make it down this way to like Dahlonega to do the Georgia gold mining, we're not far from there. Just saying. And our property is on the very edge of what was the gold prospecting. Like when they gave the land lottery away, they had like the gold section. We are the cutoff of the gold section, but the gold vein actually runs through this area.
All
Those
right.
are
Now, are
cool.
you like towards Cleveland or another direction?
From Dahlonega, we are to the west.
Okay, I believe Cleveland's northeast from Dahlonega. So you're to the west of Dahlonega? Beautiful area. Beautiful area.
It is. We're kind of the beginning of the mountain chains here, so.
I'm such a Douglas. For a second, I was-
One day, I've been telling Jeremy for years, one day he'll be fanning out a crack looking for sunglasses or whatever, if he ever does that anymore anyway, and he'll see a nice nugget in a crack and then he'll be hooked.
He'll never notice.
Well, the problem is the water. Every rock is yellow.
No, and one of the very first ones, he puts his camera down and he's fanning, and there's an arrowhead in front of the camera. Never noticed.
Never saw it? Oh man, Jeremy.
No, I couldn't
He's
find
looking
Waldo
for
if I tried. So
he's
don't
looking for
don't beat
other
yourself up.
trash instead of native artifacts and gold.
I found a spearhead, so that was pretty cool.
No, that'd be a great find.
I didn't put that in the video though. I was like, "Oop, that's a secret."
Yeah, honestly, I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't want anybody knowing I found it. I was like, I ain't giving it back. It's mine.
No.
You're talking about Wichita getting mad at you. Somebody's gonna get mad at you if you do it. So.
Oh yeah, probably the government.
Shh, we don't talk about them.
Uh,
No, that's the funny thing is coming up this month, March, I'm chaperoning a field trip, and we're going up to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And
nice.
boat ride right over the area where they dove a lot and magnet fished, and then I got the letter saying that you guys couldn't take anything out of the water there.
Oh yeah.
Didn't take anything.
We never did that.
No.
I found a
Hey,
singer.
Too late.
Apparently Tennessee, and they sent me the cases referenced. Tennessee will prosecute divers for removing even a plastic water bottle
Wow.
because it's an artifact.
That's stupid.
It
Flipping
is.
Tennessee for you. I'm surprised we all didn't get hauled away though when we were in Nashville.
I think it's a little different. Chattanooga, not far from the downtown, there is a hand dug out Indian canoe that is in the water that they know about, and people keep trying to take it.
Somebody just needs to take that stinky canoe so you guys can get on with your lives, you know?
Right, right.
Nurse-
NEP.
See that little biscuit back there. I saw it.
NEP has a question. Jeremy, did you ever go back to find the treasure bag you lost in the river a few years ago?
Brett found it, right?
Yeah, Britton actually went and dove that spot and found it and brought it back. So I never found it, but yeah, he found it.
But did Britt give it back to you?
Yeah, he brought it back.
That's cool.
But he left it. He left it by my mailbox.
Not something you expect to find it.
No, but that was cool.
Oh, Mr. Depth of History.
Who runs the Tennessee government?
Well, in Tennessee, it's the Tennessee Valley Water Authority.
TWA or something.
Yeah. And they're the ones that.
Yeah, they're hard asses when it comes to relic hunting. They'll lock you up.
Yeah. Basically, they follow the rule that you have to use a grid pattern to do any type of archaeological dig. But technically, you can't use a grid pattern underneath the water. Therefore, water is off limits.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's ways grid off the water. You know, scuba divers do it all the time on underwater archaeology, and like Mel Fisher when he was doing the Antosha had it grid off.
Well, you have to be able to lay a grid pattern down and cut straight down so you know exactly which square pieces come out of.
Right.
But water flowing, things flow into it, therefore things mix.
True. True.
Sorry, an archaeologist, and I went on digs. So
nerd.
Okay. They just doggone it. They just want it all for them, I think. It's amazing. They just instead of preserving history and saving history and almost any means, they just would rather have it rot away.
And they want to call a water bottle a modern artifact.
It's amazing how much out there.
No, Otis, I keep trying to tell Jeremy to snipe and find some of that Georgia nuggets, but not yet. Not yet.
It's got to be hard. Listen, it's got to be hard trying to, starting with trash recovery or trying to find body recovery, any of those things. It's got to be hard to add anything onto the list.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, honestly. I like to go out and do fossil hunting and relic hunting. I still have a passion for that. But besides the fact we can't find any time, I always want to film everything, and I have to stick with my brand, because you put a video channel now of fossil hunting, and it doesn't really make sense, and nobody watches it. So it's
YouTube is unforgiving when it comes to being able to pursue your passions.
That's true, and now your niche has changed drastically from when here I am again bringing you up. Smith's Gold, were your ears burning at baseball earlier or basketball? Because I've been talking a lot about you tonight. Shoot, forgot where I was going to go with that. Getting old sucks, Rose. Beep.
It's a blonde moment. You're not getting old. You're just a blonde, sweetie.
Blonde moments are happening more often, sis.
Are you going to donate your hair soon?
I'm getting very sick of it. But winter has to be totally done before I cut these locks again, Rose. But I'm planning on it.
So that was Candace asking you.
Oh, sorry, Candace. Yeah, before I'll be cutting them before too long, but winter has to be totally done before I do. Totally done. So sometime in April, May, I'm definitely at length where I can. It has to be a minimum of 11 inches to donate it to Wigs for Kids. So.
Well, that's about long enough.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of it. Sick. I don't know how you ladies do it.
You know what? That's so funny. I just cut all my hair off and I feel awful without it. I wish I had it all back and I regret it, even though it's making my hair healthier. I want it all back.
You had such beautiful dark hair too, Rose.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. I was trying to take care of it and I had to start from a certain length and now I just hate how short it is.
Well, just shave it bald and see what happens.
Oh no. No.
No.
How free it would be. Crew cut.
Maybe
Uh-oh.
we can do a shave our head for charities.
Ben, you guys go to town. You guys go to town and do it.
We got it broken. Oh, we're back.
Well, Jeremy, Adam, last but not least, Candace. Thank you, Candace, for joining the boys tonight. Rose and I were really hoping you would.
We were really hoping to see you, girl.
We were talking about it last week, and so glad you were able to be here. Adam, thanks for being here, and Jeremy, again, I appreciate it, along with all of you out there. I gotta find next month's roster. Let me see. We're having there is no open line Tuesday next week. We're having Chris Undertaker join us. You've probably seen him on TikTok and YouTube. He does quite a bit of shorts, but he's been out with Pioneer Polly on some videos and stuff, and he'll be shipping to the land down under. He's being stationed in Australia, and he'll be leaving in April. So this month, in March and April, I guess I do have an open line Tuesday in April, but no open line Tuesday in March. We'll be having Chris Undertaker join us. He's a Southern California desert prospector, so he has kind of a cool attitude. Check him out. I'm sure you'd enjoy his videos. Rose, thank you for being my guest co-host tonight.
I'm so grateful I got to be here. Thanks, Ed, for the invite, and thank you guys for letting me be here as well. Adam, Jeremy, Candace, thank you.
Thank you.
Dog is going crazy.
She's hitting her.
Haven't forgot it, Terry. I've just been working extremely a lot and haven't been able to get to the post office before they close. But they're in my truck. One for Terry, one for Brad Welsh, and I have one more for someone else. But they're in my truck. I need to make a point to get to the post office. But they'll be going out. Where am I? I'm stuck for the moment. But the curses of live broadcasting. Again, thank you very much, Adam, Jeremy, and Candace. Rose,
Yeah.
thank all of you out there for joining us tonight. I hope to see you next week when we have Chris Undertaking joining us. I believe one of his boys will be with us too, but that remains to be seen. Until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's going to say next.
That's right, Rose, because it does happen. I've even met all these guys on a river before, and maybe one day too it will happen with you. But for right now, it's that time. I think we're out of here, sis. What about you? Oh, wait. Terry Marshall, thank you for the second super chat tonight. My brother from down under, greatly appreciate it. So until next week, love you all, but I think we're out of here.
Bye.
Thanks, Terry, JP. It does happen, right, brother? John, Brad, both Brads, Mike, all of you, thank you.
4, 3, 2, 1.